Welcome everyone to our daily market analysis call for May 16th, 2017. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. And if you have questions about your individual investment needs, I recommend you talk to your investment advisor. All right, so now let's dive into our news here. Let's take a look at what's going on in the markets. We have a monetary policy meeting minutes coming up for Australia here. So that's coming up in a little bit, about an hour and a half. And then going into Tuesday here, let's take a look. Okay, we have inflation numbers for CPI. Oh, sorry, CPI inflation numbers for the British pound, and rest of it is this one. German ZEW economic sentiment number will be important for the euro as well. We have building permits for US here. So we saw negative data come out. The data was very soft. That came out on Friday. It was important data: retail sales, core retail sales. PMI numbers, I think it was. So it was very soft for US dollar. As a result, we have seen the US dollar drop since then. So keep that in mind. If we keep seeing negative numbers for US, that would not be good, which just means that market will start pricing in the expectations that Fed is not going to raise interest rates coming up in June, which will have a negative impact on the US dollar. So we do need to pay attention to the US dollar or the numbers that are coming out for the US in the near future here. And we also have GDP price index for New Zealand, which is the dairy prices, which will be important for New Zealand, and the PPI number for New Zealand as well. But all in all, not a ton of data, so kind of light on the data here. So we'll keep an eye and see what happens. So let's move on to the charts here. This is just gold here. I was just looking at gold, what gold is doing. Gold has gone up a bit, not as strong as oil has. Oil has jumped up a fair bit. So here's the oil. Let's do a daily here. So oil has jumped up a fair bit, and there were talks about OPEC cutting the production or keeping the production at a reduced rate, oil production at a reduced rate. As a result of that, it pushed the oil up today. So this was the jump up, and now there was some speculation as to whether OPEC will actually follow through with this. There is a meeting coming up later in the month that where they're going to discuss oil cuts and things like that. So that's where there was some speculation around that I was reading up on. But overall, we have seen this jump up in oil. We had a big draw for a number of days, and we saw this big bullish pin bar, and since then we have been moving up. So now we closed a day on the positive note. Looks like it's pushing up at this moment. So right now it looks bullish, and the reason we want to look at the oil is because of the dollar CAD. And as a result of the oil going up, we have been seeing dollar CAD go down. So let's take a quick peek. My computer has been restarting lately, and it always pulls up my old charts. So I was figuring my charts out here just before we started. Okay, so dollar CAD, here we go. So dollar CAD, we saw this big bar, and since then we have been seeing these lower highs, and for a while it stayed in this range. It was range bound for a long time, and now it has finally broken out of the range. So now our next level based on the daily close here, this is bearish candle close. As a result of that, we're looking for another day to the downside here. First target would be 3,600, which is not that far off. And below that, we are looking at potentially this support and resistance area, about 3550-ish level. So that will be the second target. Overall, though, considering what's going on with the oil, because oil is going up, we're expecting US dollar CAD to come down, and this is a bearish candle close, so we're looking for a further move to the downside. And now in terms of pullback, this looks like a good level for a pullback, 3663-ish level. So the move that I'm anticipating would be this one, we see a bit of a pull back up, and then another drop. So first target 3,600, the second target 3,550. So let's go on to a 1 hour here and see what we can find. This is where we are currently. So we could pull back into this previous support and resistance area, or even slightly lower here. This is a good level, which is 3650 level. It is also our pivot point level. So that looks good. And if we were to pull our fibs all the way from here, so looking at, so that's 23% retracement as well. So that's a good level. We have different levels of multiple areas of confluence here. So that looks like a good area for a pullback, and then looking for a further drop. First target 3,600, like I said, and then a second one will be 3,550 level, which is about 127 extension of these fibs. So 3,550 area does look good. It's also this support and resistance to the left here, so that's a good target for dollar CAD for tomorrow. Okay, going on to Euro US dollar here. Euro dollar, we had a very bullish candle close on Friday. After we got negative data out of the US, we had a big bullish candle close. As a result of that, today we would have expected a better day or an update, which we got. And as a result of this update, now we're looking at another move to the upside. So the first target is right there, very close, 1020. But since this looks very bullish, we could go higher. So in this case, we are looking at potentially even into this level here. So 1050 level will be the next target to the upside for euro. So before we go up though, we could come back down. So in terms of pullback, we're looking for a 109.50. So the move here would be, or could be, something like this, looking for a move to the upside, a pullback, and then another move to the upside. But based on the daily candle close though, this looks bullish. So let's take a look at, I am missing my pivot points, but here is a good level. So this is a good level here. We have support and resistance in this level, or in this area, and this one here as well. See this support and resistance level? So 109.30 is a good area as well, but it does look quite bullish. We have finished the day very much into the highs of the day, so it could just take off from here. So this will be first 1.20 is the first target, and then higher we're looking at 1050 area as the second target. Now keep those levels in mind, because we could go higher as well depending on what happens here, if the positive sentiment will carry it through. But overall, it's looking bullish. Pound here, it has traded in a range still. So we are still in that range. We did have a push to the upside today, but then look at this big pin on to the top side and a small candle close. So that does not look very bullish on the close of the day. As a result of this, we are looking for range-bound trading here. To the top of the range, we have 129.93 area. In the bottom, we are looking at 128.42. So we are still looking for price to stay within those levels unless we can see a trigger come in. So trigger could be in the form of positive CPI numbers. If the CPI numbers come out positive, we're likely to see pound go up as a result, and then the first target would be 29.93, or we need to see a break of this. Otherwise, we'll have to play this as a range, which means 28.40 area. This could be a potential buying opportunity, and 29.93 area could be a potential selling opportunity. So for now, we'll trade this as a range. Looking at the 1 hour here, had a nice pin bar on the 1 hour right on R2 level, and then a drop. Now it is pulling back up, but does not mean that it will continue to do so. So we'll need to monitor this. It could pull back into this level, this support and resistance right here, and then drop. So we did get bit of a pin bar here on the daily, which would be negative for the British pound, but we will treat this as a range because we are still holding that range that has been in place for the last couple of weeks. So we'll have to see how we once the price breaks out of that range, and then we'll have to see. So same thing we saw with dollar CAD. It was trading in this range for quite some time till it finally broke down. So this we'll have to see which way it breaks. But for now, it's range bound. Okay, moving on to Aussie US dollar here. Aussie, we looked at this bullish pin bar here. As a result, we're looking for a move up. This one did not look very positive, but now we have pushed up still because of the turnaround in commodities. With the commodities pushing up, we had gold pushing up, as well as oil has pushed up quite a bit. As a result of this, it's giving the commodity currencies a boost as well. So now we are looking positive here. The candle close for the day is quite neutral, which means it could go either way. But for now, we are seeing this push up. However, for Aussie dollar here at in about an hour or so, we do have monetary policy meeting minutes that could have a big impact on Aussie. So regardless of what the commodities are doing, we could see individual impact on Australian dollar. So keep that in mind. If you're trading Aussie, the monetary policy meeting minutes could change things substantially. So here we are. This is where we came to the previous support and resistance area. Right now, based on the way this looks like it has positive momentum in it and is likely to push up higher. 2450 area will be the first target here. And then we are looking for about 2500 level, or sorry, 7500 level. So 7492, 7450 first target, and then 7492 the second target. But do keep in mind the numbers coming out later in about an hour. So looking for bullish to neutral on Aussie dollar. This is pound yen. Pound, with it being range bound, we did see pound go up into these levels, and since then it has pulled back. Yen has been quite weak, so all the yen crosses have been going up. So this was a bullish close for the day. As a result of this, we are looking for another move up in pound yen here. So the target would be 148 here. To the upside, 146.70 is where we are currently. So this is where we are. We did go into this previous support and resistance area and bounced off of that. Now this looks bullish, making higher lows. As a result, we are looking for price to move back up. So targets, we have, this is a good support and resistance area, 147.20 as the first target, then 148.00. But overall, this looks bullish. Euro yen, very, very bullish close on the day. So this one, we need to pull back out a bit to see where this one is going, because it has positively closed above this previous level. So we were trading in this range for the last little while here. Price hadn't broken anywhere, but now it has, we have a clear break above the previous high. As a result, this looks very bullish. And the target, the next target could be this one right here, 126.30 level. So if you were to pull it in a bit, 125.80 is the first target, and then above that we're looking at 126.50 area. So those will be the next two targets. Overall, though, looks very bullish. Looking at the 1 hour, see how it's holding above the previous resistance here. Clear break above, pull back into that, held above, and now this looks quite bullish at the moment. Okay, Euro CAD, Euro and CAD have both been bullish. As a result, we are seeing a bit of a move back and forth because they were both strong, a very, very neutral candle close here. So this will be treated as neutral, and we'll see now how things play out, but this is not a clear signal on this cross at all, so not the best one to trade for tomorrow, because both of those are very strong. Euro is very strong, Canadian dollar is very strong, with the oil, especially with the oil pushing up. So this is a very neutral candle close, so I would say just leave that alone. This one here though, Euro Aussie here, Aussie is pushing up right now prior to monetary policy meeting minutes, but the close on this is a bullish one here. But again, because Aussie has it has monetary policy meeting minutes coming out. This one I would suggest caution, because that it could change things. Monetary policy meeting minutes could change things, but overall, based on this bullish pin bar here, this one looks bullish based on the close, and we could see it go higher. So right now it's pushing into this resist support here, but we could see it go higher. Again, this will be dependent on Australian dollar. Based on the daily candle close, this will be bullish. Euro pound has been trading up recently. We are into resistance here. So the last few days, it's been a one way here, pushing up. And now we could see it go all the way into 85.30, which we are very close to. So that will be a test. This will be an important level, 85.30, whether euro is able to break this. But based on the daily candle close, we are bullish on this. And first target 85.30, second target would be 8600, or even, yeah, so approximately 8600 will be the second target. We're looking for a bullish move, but do be careful that we are running into strong resistance level at this point. So this is what it looks like. We are into this here, but it looks like we have moved above this, but this here is the next support and resistance area at 85.30. So this looks bullish. Dollar yen here, just like other yen crosses, yen has been very weak today. So as a result, this is very bullish close, and we are looking for another move to the upside. First target 114.39, and above that we have 114.80, and then 115. This here is a good support and resistance. So looking for another move to the upside on dollar yen. Pound New Zealand. So this is where we are filling this whole entire inefficiency, and we have talked about inefficiencies before. So sometimes it can take a few days for it to get filled, and this is an example of that. It has taken a few days. So if you take a look at our daily chart here, this is where we are. It is in this range now, so we're still looking at this as range bound, but we have this inefficiency open. So if you go back to 1 hour chart, this looks, the daily candle close is very neutral. Pins on both sides, small candle body, very, very neutral close. But look, based on this 1 hour chart though, this inefficiency is likely to get filled now, and we are likely to see the price come down towards this level. And at this level, we could see a move back up. So keep that in mind. Consider this a range-bound trade, and we're looking for something like this. Test of this level, a double bottom here, and then a push to the upside. So that's what we are looking at here, looking at inefficiency to get pulled. So further downside till we get to the bottom of this 86.16-ish level, and then we could see a push back up. So important level to pay attention to. There is room there though. We are at 87.12 and looking at 86.20-ish levels. There's fair bit of room here for price to move lower. Okay, Aussie, New Zealand here. We have seen Aussie go up based on the daily chart here. This was a big inefficient move based on the news that came out for New Zealand dollar that was seen as negative, and we saw this big move up. Since then, we have seen these two, a doji and another doji spinning top here. So today's candle close is very, very neutral. As a result of that, it is making lower highs though, so this gives it a bit of a negative bias to it. So we are looking for potential another move to the downside, but again, keep in mind we have monetary policy meeting minutes for Aussie. So those are very important. That's why we have to keep those in view. So based on if they come out as negative, we could see this move down into a 107.20 level. So if you look at 1 hour chart, we are right about here, right in the middle of this little range. So looking for this price to push down even into this level. This is an important level here, 107.20 level. So we haven't really filled this inefficiency. That was quite a bit. So if the news comes out, the monetary policy meeting minutes come out really negative, we could see this fill up. So keep that in mind. But the first target would be a 107.20 level. If it doesn't break this level, this is very important. And this is what we see in inefficient moves, which is one of these. If it doesn't break this, the first pullback that we generally see how price pulled up and then pulled back into this level. So the first time where the price pulls back, generally that becomes a key level. If the price cannot break that level, chances are it's going to go higher. So keep that in view. So first target is 107.20 level. However, if the monetary policy meeting minutes come out negative, this inefficiency could get filled. That is something to keep in mind. Okay, New Zealand CAD here. We have a bearish pin bar, and now we are seeing New Zealand dollar go up for some reason, but this is a bearish close on the daily chart, which means based on the daily close alone, we would be looking for this move to the downside. But keep an eye on oil and any rumors you hear about oil, because they will drive the market. Okay, so in terms of pullbacks here, we could see price come and test this level again, 94.25, and then we could get a double top type of, we may get one of these, so a double top formation here where the price could drop. So here is the inefficiency that hasn't been filled, but right now there isn't a strong enough reason for it to fill this inefficiency, and as a result of that, we could see price just come and test this and then drop. So that will be the first hurdle to keep in mind for New Zealand CAD. Okay, so I think that's it. We have covered everything. Any questions at this point? If not, we will call it a wrap.